This is a triptych wing by Taddeo Gaddi that features a nativity scene known as the Adoration of the Shepherds. The frame's simple and muted, and it allows the color and activity captured in the panel to take center stage. It's divided into 3 segments by this 3-dimensional molding that curves into the work and then up to a point, kind of looking like a trefoil whose bottom segments are missing. The upper corners have 2 of the evangelists, though which ones they are I couldn't tell you. The Holy Family sits under a thatched roof with Mary cradling the infant Jesus, and they're surrounded by a host of characters, angels and saints, while the shepherds sit in the lower corner with their sheep. Initially, I was attracted to this piece because of my fascination with triptychs. It's one of the smallest works in the European gallery, and so it really invites an intimate appreciation, like the writing on the scrolls that the evangelists are holding. It's in some language, Latin or Greek, I'm not sure which, but I feel like if you could translate it, it would tell you which evangelists they were. Upon my closer inspection, I noticed that Mary was breastfeeding Christ, which I thought was really interesting, but didn't think was all that unique or special since I've seen it in other pieces. My initial interpretation was that it was a way to connect with women, since I see art as a reflection of society in the visible world. I connected to this piece as a mother because I saw it as a bonding relationship between mother and child. I love how it takes this private ritual and shows that it doesn't need to be hidden away. So I was really surprised to learn its intended meaning of keeping women subservient. It would have originally been housed in a church, so the image itself doesn't really say this, but when you heard sermons along with it, these sermons were telling people that Mary was powerful and that women on earth weren't, that they couldn't be Mary, that they couldn't be strong. I think it's really interesting to know the history of the piece, but it doesn't stop me from seeing it the way I want to see it, as a wonderful celebration of motherhood. Being in a museum has changed the audience of this piece, as well as its physical appearance. It's missing its sister wing and central panel, which would have told us a different narrative. We look at this piece differently. We can't touch it or walk around it. We have a completely different relationship with this piece now that it isn't in a church. If this were in my home, its function would be similar to when it was in a church, but its meaning would change. In my day-to-day life, I would see it as a meditative focal point and a reminder of the power women hold. This piece has made me realize how fascinated I am with the roles of women throughout history, and now I can't stop seeing breastfeeding imagery everywhere.